Hey, Facebook. Now, y'all know I'm used to saying good morning, but it's not morning. It is definitely evening. And good evening to everyone. So, I like to start the show off the same way. Hello, dreamers. And if you are listening, if you are out there in Facebook land at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, come in and say what's up. Come in and say hello. Come in and say how you doing. If you're not doing all that great, that's cool too. Come in and say that too. So as you know, we are doing this segment. And normally, like I said, we're on in the morning, but I got some special guests that are coming to visit with us in the evening. So I'm excited to talk to these young men because they are doing it. So make sure you are chiming in because this is a conversation. So make sure that you are letting people know what's going on, how you feeling, what you're doing, and then you can answer the questions too. So it's just not about us. If we start having these kind of conversations, then we'll see a lot of shifting going on in people's lives. Okay, so first off, let me tell you what we do and why we here, why I am broadcasting today. The Start Living Your Dreams Go Live training is a conversation by seasoned professionals that provide phenomenal advice on how to live your best life. And that's exactly what we should be doing, redefining what that looks like, because the world want to tell us one thing, but you got to know what you want to do. You know in your soul what it is that you are destined to do, and you need to start living it. And that's what I mean when I say living your best life. If you don't know, now you know. I am T and Stacia White, life coach and founder of the Start Living Your Dreams training Facebook professional development group. I am also an educator and a nonprofit founder and an author, and sometimes I speak. So, when I have something to say. But what I want to do today is always every day, like I do every day, is today is the day to begin. Even at 7 o'clock in the evening, today is the day to begin. So I dare you to dream bigger, even through a pandemic. I dare you to dream bigger during a pandemic. Okay. So because if you aim high and you start working on those things, it'll start manifesting. And so just so you know who I am and what I do and why I do what I do, if you are going to be listening to anybody, regardless if it's me or whoever is broadcasting, you don't want to waste your time with people just saying whatever it is they want to say and they don't have a real root for where it comes from. So this is how I live my life. This verse right here is how I run my business. And I always like to share it on every broadcast because I think you get to know me a little better when you know where I come from. All right. So 2 Timothy 1:9 says, who has saved us and called us with a holy calling. I got to say that again. And called us with a holy calling, not according to our works. Because when you start doing stuff on your own and trying to do it on your own and trying to control it, you ain't going nowhere but in circles. But according to his own purpose and grace, which was given us in Christ Jesus before the world began. So we are here for a divine purpose, and he just wants us to start living in it. And that's what I want to do. I want to help people live in whatever their purpose is, whatever they feel like they're supposed to be doing in this world. I want to help you get there. All right. Because that is what living life on your terms is. Okay. I got a couple people. Hopefully they chiming in and say hello. Hello, Mr. Word. Hey, how you doing? It's been a minute. Oh, how you doing? Thank you. I love it when you dreaming bigger as we speak. Thank you for chiming in, Mr. Worth. All right. So without further ado, though, I have some phenomenal guests with us. And y'all see me every day. Y'all didn't come here to see me. Y'all came to learn a little something. Two wonderful young men are here, and their company is Melanated Investments. And they're going to sit and talk business with you. They're going to sit and talk with y'all, and we're going to have a conversation. So make sure that you are writing down some questions if you have some questions and putting them in the chat so that they can answer whatever it is that you, whatever questions that you may have for them. So without further ado, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Hello, fellas.
How's it going?
How you doing? My name's Fred Kelly, representing one half of Melanated Investments.
And I'm Sean Crawford. I'm one of the co-owners of Melanated Investments as well.
Awesome. Awesome. So I always like to say thank you because you guys could be anywhere doing whatever, anything. And you guys said yes to the call when I put out there that I wanted guest speakers. So I just want to say thank you for joining and let's get to talking. So I feel like I skipped a step with y'all. Nope. Okay. Let's talk business. So you guys can tell us a little bit about your company or whatever you want to share business wise.
For sure. So our company's named Melanated Investments. We focus on the revitalization of people, property, and land throughout our community. What that means in somewhat of a nutshell is that we want to see our people grow. Melanated, being of melanin descent, darker skin tone, Black people, we want to see our people grow and prosper as we all should. Have the same equal opportunity as everyone else and be able to achieve great things as well as everyone else as well.
Awesome.
Definitely. And some of the main principles that and some of the different services that we provide is real estate for sure, credit restoration, marketing for small businesses, and education. So those are some of our main avenues that we focus on and giving back to the community with those different resources.
And I like to say this about revitalizing your communities. That is very important. I think it's a lesson or a tool that as African Americans that some of us don't really grasp, and we really need to start grasping that kind of thought process. I was reading let me quit telling y'all I was watching an interview, and it was with the lady who bought, acres and acres of land, and just saying, and I was so motivated by that. Like, I was like, okay, before I go, because I still got a whole life to live. Okay. So before I am done, that is a goal of mine. And I think we all should be reaching those kind of goals. Maybe not a whole bunch of land. That might not be your goal, but we do need to start finding property in our communities and revitalizing them and making them a part for us, making things look us, because that's where the money comes from. Mm-hmm. So what made you all start this? Like, what made you say, this is what I'm going to do?
For me, I mean, this may sound a little far-fetched, but I always knew that I'd be in somewhat of a similar situation or similar business. I'm a Christian by faith, and from an early age, I knew that God had a calling on my life to not only help other people, but in particular, Black people. So just from an early age, I knew that this would be something that I would like to pursue as far as my life goals and aspirations, for sure.
Awesome.
Definitely. And I definitely never thought real estate or education would be my path at all. I originally went to school for criminal justice to be a police officer. And then I found out I just watched too much cops growing up. So that's how that happened. But yeah, we kind of fell in love with the process. And really we focus on people, property, and land, just kind of how you were saying. And we just believe that we have property within our communities that need to be revitalized. We have people that need to be revitalized and need to be educated on how to be homeowners, how to have great credit, and across the land. If we don't take care of our land, we won't have nothing to stand on.
Nothing, and we won't have nothing. And all of that is vital. And I think that that's the point. And when I heard you guys back when I met you and realized what you were doing, that's what made me fall in love with the whole thing, because it's crucial. And I think that that's the thing that we need to express to people in our community, that it is very crucial that we own land. It is very crucial because financially it makes sense. It is crucial to get your credit right. Put out a shame. Like, I'm tired of all this shame and all this, I don't want to tell nobody. We ain't got time for that. Right. So we don't have time for you to be walking around here talking about you don't, want to tell people that you got credit problems when there's people there to help you. So we have to get out the mindset of these heirs and start living life on our terms. Because when you're bold and even with your raggedy credit, you're bold in you and you go get help in any area, regardless if that's a psychiatrist, you need some therapy, wherever area that you are lacking in, you need to go get professional help. And we really need to begin the process of doing that. Now, if you
Definitely.
are on Facebook or you are on YouTube watching, I want you to ask some questions about it. Who out there is looking for some land or looking for a house or looking for, this is the time to ask the questions, or this is the time to say, hey, I am ready to leap forward and do something that I've never done before. And this is the time to ask these young men this question.
Yeah. And I mean, this is the perfect time and place as far as like the pandemic is going on. So it's a good time to focus on yourself. And we make a lot of excuses, say we need to do this, we need to do that. But in all reality, action is the proper fruit of knowledge. So I'm going to say that again because somebody missed it.
Yeah.
Action is the proper fruit of knowledge. So we need to be actively seeking how to do these things. And I mean, you have the help in front of you. So we're at the point where we are not scared to ask any questions, where we're just risk for reward. You know what I'm saying?
Very good. I like that. I had to put that in the chat. We got to start. We got to start being, and I know that it might sound crazy because a lot of people are going through. So it might sound crazy for us to say, okay, during the pandemic, you need to move, but you really need to think outside the box during this pandemic because it is money out there for you. You might have to think differently. That's all. It's just requiring you to think a little differently to get the things that you need the right way. And it's out there for you because this is the time for us to start looking and building and becoming a state, whatever it is that's on your mind that you've been putting off for years. This is the time to do it. And I know that sounds crazy, but exactly what Sean said. You have action is the proper fruit to knowledge. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So let me see. We got Mr. Words. What did Mr. Words say? I like to put the little quotes. If I wanted to get or buy land, what are some of the steps I should take? So that was the question.
I would say the first step is to identify the area that you want to buy land in. The second step is to identify a budget or a price range because we run across that a lot. A lot of people say they want different things, but they're not necessarily sure about the specifics. So we can obviously help you find those specifics, but the area, your price range, that's two major keys. And then, I mean, there's a lot of different agencies out here that are just selling land, you know, Keller Williams, Platinum Realties, even some just personal owners that are just selling their land. So it's all everywhere. And
just be intentional. So yeah. So and like I said, these young men I'll put all their information in so you guys can develop a relationship after this call. That's what I like to do, build relationships. So make sure that you get their information and so they can lead you in the right way and tell you what it is you need to, know so that you're not. One thing about it's hard when you just don't know and you don't really know, and then you don't really know who to trust. But what I will say is these young men are very trustworthy, but they'll show you. I ain't got to tell you because they're gonna show you. So I have another. Let's see. Oops, I'm all over the place, y'all. There we go. Boom. How are you living life on your terms? Anybody who wants, both of you can answer. So whoever wants to go first, how are you living life on your terms?
I would say the way that I'm living life is on my own terms. I mean, honestly, I think that's like a state of mind or like a state of being. Because you can have like a full-time job, 4 or 5 kids, and still live life on your own terms. I think a lot of people, they get a notion that you have to be successful or financially independent for you to be living life on your own terms. But honestly, it's really just taking out the fear aspect of everything. And I think that's something that we've kind of been hitting on this entire conversation. Just taking that dive out there. Like, how do you look for land? You start looking for land. You be persistent about it. You don't allow the what ifs or the how would I ever's, to take over your thought process, and just understand that as long as you keep trying and you're backed up on a faith system that's going to lead you in the right direction, there's no way that you will fail, for sure.
Definitely. And kind of going right off of Fred, what popped in my head at that moment when you asked the question is, as us as a business not getting weary and well doing. So we understand that we're doing something powerful. We understand that we're doing something in good faith, and we understand that we're helping our community. So it's just a matter of being consistent and persistent, and not getting weary. So I understand that at any moment in time, my blessing can come through. So.
Yes. That's good. That is so good. See, I'm telling y'all, we're giving y'all some good nuggets here. And so you all are speaking my language, because that's the whole reason. Like, a lot of people see the things that I write, like how you live in life on your terms. And it depends on your mental state, how you read that question. And that's exactly it. Fred, you hit it on the head. That's exactly it. That you have to define it for you. Like, what success looks like to me. I tell people all the time, I am living my best life, and I'm literally a teacher. Like, so it's not like I got this extravagant job or nothing, and I help people figure out what their passions are, what their goals are, and how to plan for their future. Like, that's it. Like, but to me, it is everything. Like, that's my everything. I love waking up in the morning. And so it depends on what you decide, because the world has told us all this madness about what success should look like, what you should be doing, how much money you should be making. And the only person that can decide how much money you should be making is you. And not to be going after any money, because all money is not good money. So you need to just be out there making sure you are living in your passion driven purpose. That's it. And go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say, and it really kind of depends on what category of your life you're wanting to live on your best terms, or you should be focusing on. Because sometimes it's in those personal relationships, it's in friendships, it could be in your career. So you really have to decide, in which area am I not living my best life, or living on your own terms, and then kind of figure it out from there.
That's good, and that's real. That is real. So I got another question for you guys. At what point? So I know Fred kind of hit on this a little bit, but you can elaborate. At what point did you when did you get to this point? So what did you do to get to this point? What were some of the steps? Because I want people to know that you don't just wake up and boom, this is it. I woke up like this. So how did you get to this point?
I think it really took place when I began to focus on self-care or self-love. And I think a major part of that for me personally was detachment. I think by nature, I'm just a very loving person. I'm a very caring person. I love to put people before myself in a lot of times, in a lot of situations. But sometimes that could be a hindrance to you, when you put in your job before your own self, or, the things that you want to do, or you put in, friends or even family in certain situations over the things that you need to accomplish for your own self. Once you kind of detach or just focus more upon yourself, it begins to establish a mentality within yourself that, okay, now that I truly love and care for myself, I can do anything that I want to do. And I think that whenever I begin to focus on that self-care, that self-love, that's when the light kind of switched for me to say, hey, like, I am doing what I want to do. I am living my best life.
Yes.
Right. And I think we're some pretty young, strapping young men. We're both 27. And so a lot of people look at us like, these young bucks don't know what they're talking about. But to his point, for me, I'm a very personal person. I'm a people person. I like being around people. I like conversation. But I think it's when I started living my best life is me becoming aware of people who are friends, are fans of my personality, but not necessarily fans of my dream. So when I start, finding those people and seeing what those people are, okay, you just want to be around me because you want to be around me, but you're not necessarily pushing me towards my dream. I had to kind of take a step back and reevaluate my situation. And then it's also a thought process thing, because I believe that, just the bridge between thoughts And accomplishments are pretty much just discipline. So you have to discipline yourself. You have to really focus on your goals and how you want to live on your best terms.
Yeah.
Identify the people that's going to help you live on your best terms and run with it.
That's it. That is it. And I want people to, it's a process. So even for people, when it is like we say start, I always say today is the best, today is the day to begin, right? That's my thing that I say. And yes, it is, but don't think you're gonna be in at the end of the day. You're gonna be where you want to be at the end. Now we just starting. And when I'm saying starting, I mean little baby steps because the pressure is real. So you don't and what are you rushing for? And that was the thing that I went through in my 30s for some, because at an early age, I always knew what I wanted to do. So for me, I always had a vision, had a goal, and I knew what I wanted to do. But in my 30s, I was like, how did I get here? Like, what happened? What will happen? Life will turn up on you. And I was like, how did I get here? But then I started panicking because mentally I was telling myself, since I knew at an early age what I wanted to do, that, oh my God, 30 is old. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of time,
Right.
And so when I started transforming my mind, saying, I still got a whole life. Like, let me sit back and live life and work on the things that I need to work on, be who I need to be, get me together. And then I can be able to do what I am called to do for everyone else. And I think that is the importance of knowing that it's not a race. You two ain't racing again. And I think that's why you guys make a perfect, because it's hard to be a co-owner of something, but everybody has to have that right kind of mindset that it ain't about just me. It ain't about just you. It's about, let's get these people to where they need to be.
Right.
And that's what I really see in you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
So my next segment that I've always talked about is freestyle. So I do this segment because I am very dimensional. Like, don't be trying to put me in a box. I always say God gave me a lot of personality, and you can't stuff all this personality in a box. So I like the freestyle because I want people to know more about you, like something that they wouldn't know that you do, or something that you do, or the reason why you're doing, how you put the things that you are doing now together. So you can talk about if you got something coming up. So freestyle is whatever it is you want to talk about or want people to know about you.
If I can go first, Sean. Now, something I'd like to say that we have going on with Melanated Investments, we actually just launched a website called Melanated Markets. The entire purpose of Melanated Markets is to get Black dollars in Black rotation. I don't know how many people know this, but actually only 2% of Black dollars stay within the Black community. And that's like a major issue. We put so much money into these, designer brands. We put so much money into these other ethnicities that are pretty much just milking us in particular, whether it's like, your chicken joints, your nail salons, hair stores, they kind of milking us for the things that we should be able to keep within ourselves at home. But Melanated Markets is a great way for any business, whether it's a small business, medium-sized business, large corporation. As long as they're Black owned or minority owned, you can hop on the site. It's a great way to book for clients, a great way to set scheduling, a great way to get more publicity from consumers within the KC metro area for sure.
And the most important thing is it's free. We're providing this service for free. So you can get on.
Y'all better quit
your own business for the free.
People need to take advantage of free. Just like I said, when we're giving this information, first off, you guys know your expertise. You know what you're doing. This is your profession. This is what you do. And for you to come on and giving any of these tidbits or all this information for free is very valuable. And that's what I tell people. And getting connected with the right people is very valuable. So if y'all didn't hear that out there, Facebook land, y'all better get with it. Free. I keep trying to tell you, everything is not for free.
Right.
And it shouldn't be. And so when you get a good thing that is free, first off, appreciate it. Okay. Don't not appreciate it. Appreciate it, because that comes from people's hearts. They're not doing it because they suckers. They're doing it because it's their heart. That's what they want to do. But then after that, some things you're just going to have to pay for. But when it's free, you need to get it. You need to be on it. So tell me again. So you said is it www?
Yes, www.melanatedmarkets. Melanated is going to be spelled MELANTED, and then
It makes
markets.com.
sense.
Okay, so no A, right?
Yes,
Oh,
MELANATED.
Oh, I'm sorry,
okay.
I'm a little excited.
Markets with an S.
Market. And market with a T with an S.
Yes, markets.
Right.com. I want to make sure. I'm gonna make sure that you all are connected with this because that's important information. And we need to start coming together and stop being so leery of each other. Come together, sit and talk and have a conversation with each other and learn how to build this thing. One of the things that I like to share, and I get excited when I hear you all, is because I'm from a small town in Indiana, and my sister is literally doing this in the community we grew up in. So she's revitalizing the community that we grew up in. And it takes more than one person, and that's why I was like, she's doing a heck of a good job. But I would love to get you guys together, because what she's doing there is could just be duplicated, you know what I mean? And then, like, and I know you guys do workshops, because I've heard you say y'all do kind of workshops on educating people on how to do those kind of things, and I really want to be in on it. And it's so crazy because I've been saying, I need a building. Like, I've been at home. I'm like, I need a building. I'm ready to get up out of this house. And so it didn't even dawn on me till you guys started talking. I was like, oh, I need to talk to Sean. So sometimes you just have to be reminded of who you have in your corner and who you have in your space and who you have by your side, because sometimes we do forget that we have valuable people in our community that we can trust and go to and support them. So is there anything else that you want to share or say, or some tips or whatever it is that you want to?
Yeah, I wanted to say that Fred, he didn't mention it, but he is a marketing specialist. So he does digital, and I'll let him kind of take it away with the marketing.
So, yeah, for sure. So we also have a marketing portion of our business as well, primarily for small businesses. I mean, we're all about growth and expansion. So we want to, start at the very seed of a business. But we primarily help with lead generation through online advertising like Facebook or Instagram, where we essentially acquire leads for you if you're a service-based business, or we can bring more traffic to your website if you're promoting products online.
Awesome. So I'll put that information also in the comments, because I know people are always looking for different things. And it sounds like that you all have a lot going on in one place. And I love that.
Yeah, our goal is to be a one-stop shop.
Yes, that's a good thing when you don't have to be dealing with a lot of different people, and keeping it kind of in space, and it can get done. It can get done. So I have a comment from, I have a student that always follows me. I just love this little young lady. She always follows, she always comes on. She could be doing anything, y'all. She could be out there doing anything at 7 o'clock at night, and she is on Facebook watching these lives. So she said you guys are inspiring, and I just
appreciate you
all to know that. That's one of my, well, she's in high school now. She's a Ruskin baby now, but she was a Smith Hill baby. And so but yeah, so that's that. I don't have any more questions, but like I said, if it's something else that you guys want to talk about or an upcoming event, but I do want everybody in Facebook who watches this on the replay or is watching it now to make sure you go to the melanatedmarkets.com. Sounds like it's something that you need to be a part of, tap into, because I want to stress that we all need to start owning some things. We need to start investing our money into these type of things and not this tennis shoe game and all that kind of game and all of that. And I'm always transparent. People assume about me and my husband, which is hilarious, is that we are designer people. I don't buy nothing designer unless it's on the sales rack. Because I love my money. Like, I like money. Like, I could do other things. I'd rather donate. I'd rather, pour into some other project that I'm doing to help the community. So I'd rather do that with my money than to spend it on somebody else. Ain't doing nothing for me. What about who? These people ain't bought nothing. They ain't bought they don't go back to your community. They don't build no apartment buildings for you. They don't do any of those things. And we really have to get that message out and make people's mind shift to that. Like, you're right. I'm over here buying $200, waiting in line, buying Michael Jordan. Now, I love Michael Jordan because y'all know I'm a hooper, but he ain't getting no money out of me until he come this way, And I'm not saying that don't buy the things that you desire and you work hard for, but just be mindful. Just be mindful.
Have some delayed gratification. How about that?
Yes. And so, Mr. Worth, I used to work with him in St. Louis. Hey, Mr. Worth, he said you are some outstanding young men. So keep it up. We worked together for some years before I came here and worked at Hickman. I worked at Hazelwood in St. Louis. Yeah. So yes. So thank you for sharing, Mr. Worth. Well done. I have learned a lot tonight. Thanks for building the community, and you are worth it. Yes. All right. So, like I said, if you guys don't have anything else, we can close up the broadcast. But I am so glad you took the time out of your lives, and y'all so young. It puts me in my age. My age starts showing, but I have a son your age, and I just love it. I love to see young people doing and moving the way that they're supposed to be moving. So this is coming from all my heart, like my pop said. My whole heart only wants to see you all do well. So, like I said, I do need to talk about because I've been saying I need to be, and I've been talking about it. I got it in my dream book and everything. So I need to get with you guys, and hopefully people out there can get with you guys. But what else is it that you want to say before we go?
Red, I'm gonna let you go first. I'm gonna close it on out. If there's anything that I could say, I would just say, face your fears. I think that's something that a lot of people need to do, and it's a big aspect of a lot of people's lives. The what ifs, that I won't be able to do it. You never know till you try. You'll never be able to accomplish anything unless you give a full 100% effort. Fear will come. I still get scared. I'm pretty sure, like, my father, who's like the scariest man that I know, he was like a ranger in the army and everything. I know sometimes he gets scared. But just from him being an example to me as I was growing up in my life, he never showed that he was scared or fearful, but also he never let it get in the way of him accomplishing what he needed to accomplish. So it's a hard process to ditch the fear, but if you can let go and let God, that's the thing you can do.
Right. And just backing up, so you're gonna make me go a different direction. You're talking about the fears, you're talking about the goals. So I'm just give you a couple of steps to just basically accomplish any goal, and will help you in that process. So the first thing is write it down. So any goals that you have, obviously it needs to be written down, it needs to be in front of you at all times, so that you know that you're serious about it. If you don't see it, and it's probably not a goal that you really want to accomplish. The second thing is put a date on it. So a lot of us make these goals, and we want to do this. I want to buy a new car. I want to get a new house. I want to get my credit fixed. Okay, but what's your time frame? It's not going to happen tomorrow. So put a date on it and be realistic about it. And then identify the people and organizations that's going to help you in the process. So we all have people in our lives or organizations. You can reach out to Melanated Investments about almost anything, and we'll point you in the right direction. So identify people and organizations that will help you in the process. List the obstacles that you have to overcome. There's always going to be obstacles. There's always going to be fears. There's always going to have to be something that's going to hold us back from accomplishing these dreams. But if you list those things out and expect them, you can overcome and run through them. And then the last thing is identify the benefits to you. So no one has a goal, has a dream, or want to accomplish something without having a benefit. Obviously, there's light at the end of the tunnel, however you want to say it, but we have a goal in mind, and it should be a beneficial goal to you.
All righty. So we got those nuggets in there so you can get on them and make sure, and you like stepping all over the stuff I say too. So that's what I tell people. You better write it down, honey, and it will come true. I can't say it enough. You write it down and you keep moving in it, even though it don't look like it.
Right.
You're like, I got $1 to my name, but you want me to go and do all of this? Yes, I do. Go do it. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming on. And we got to keep in touch and make sure that we, do some things together once everybody can go outside and play, connect together and get some of these, community things kind of going with with the nonprofit and what y'all got doing. Because even if we talk to the kids, like Ayana's on and she's in high school, and just through her coming to these series lately, she's like, I want to be an entrepreneur. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Just deciding that, wow, this is something I want to do. You all, the people that come on, have inspired her to want to do those kind of things. And so if we get more people, more young people in a room, and you all talk to them about how important it is when they 18, instead of going out running up that credit card when they get it at 18, let's buy a building. Let's put that money into a house. So let's put that money into an investment,
Yeah.
And I know that's what you all talk about. So once again, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for commenting and coming in. And if you do watch this on the replay, you can still write your questions down and we'll go make sure that we, answer those questions when the questions come through. All right. So have a wonderful rest of your night. Indeed. And enjoy, because I got to go cook dinner. It is never over.
Me too.
All right. See you later.